While Ram, Lakshman and Sita settled down at Chitrakoot, Bharat moved from Ayodhya to fetch Ram back to the kingdom. But he came with a large army to prove that everybody was with him in his effort to persuade Ram to come back. The movement of the Ayodhya army upset the life of the forest surrounding Chitrakoot, writes Valmiki. Frightened by the tumultuous noise, even the elephant herds ran helter-skelter. The sky grew dull with the dust raised by the horses' hoofs. Noticing this commotion, Rama asked Lakshmana to investigate the cause of the disturbance. Lakshmana climbed a shal tree to be able to look into the distance. Looking northwards, he noticed an army consisting of foot soldiers, elephants, horses, and chariots. Coming down, he asked Rama to extinguish the fire in the hearth, send Sita into a cave for safety, and get ready for a fight. He surmised that Bharat had advanced in full strength to annihilate both of them, so that he could rule unchallenged. However, Rama pacified Lakshmana and said, if the enthusiastic Bharat has arrived here in person, the sword, the bow and arrows need not create a barrier between us. I have no use for the tainted kingdom. Wealth acquired by killing one's friends and relatives is like poisoned food. How sublime are his thoughts. It must be discarded. I do not seek it under any circumstances. Bharat comes to meet us out of love and affection. He has never misbehaved with you, nor has he given any reason to be angry. Then why are you afraid of him today? How can a brother think of killing a brother who is dearer to him than his life? Lakshmana, if you continue to doubt Bharata's intentions and talk harshly, I shall ask Bharat to hand over the throne to you. On the other hand, moving in the direction of the smoke rising from Sri Rama's cottage, Bharat noticed that the thatched hut under a grove. He also noticed how there were a number of markers on the trees for guiding the way to the hut, which he assumed Lakshmana to have done. All this helped Bharat in reaching Rama's cottage. The Parana Kutir, a cottage made of leaves, was thatched with leaves of shal, tal and ashwakarna trees. Soft kusha grass had been scattered around the yagashala. An altar had been built for worship. Inside, powerful bows with gilded grips were arranged like rainbows. Quivers full of arrows lay tastefully against the cottage walls, shining like the rays of the sun. The description is lovely. Two swords sheathed in a golden scabbard and shields with round golden patches could also be seen. On the altar, a fire was burning in the Havan Kund. Rama, dressed in bark and black buckskin, sat in the cottage. His hair was twirled into a knot like that of a sadhu. Rama, the master of the universe, writes Valmiki, a devout and chivalrous prince sat like the eternal Brahma on a seat made of kusha grass. His shoulders were broad like that of a lion. His arms were long and his eyes were like an opening lotus bud. Bharat swept at the sight of his revered brother living in such circumstances. He wept copiously. In an almost inaudible voice, he called him Arya and cried in silence. He bowed at Rama's feet. The latter lifted his younger brother and enveloped him in a warm embrace. Affectionately smiling Bharat's forehead, Rama asked him, brother, father would not have let you come to the forest alone. And seeing you here in this condition fills my heart with fear. Is father out of his grief? Is the kingdom safe? Are our mothers happy? What about the revered Guru Vasisht? I hope that you get good advice to run the government. I hope that you consult the right people on important issues and that your parlays and decisions are not leaked to the public. I am sure that important projects that have far reaching consequences are not delayed. It's as if we are sitting in modern times and discussing local politics. Rama continued, a king surrounded by 1,000 fools does not get sound and timely advice. However, even one competent minister can assist him in amassing wealth in his treasury. Surely you have appointed persons suitable for jobs at different levels of competence. Appoint such ministers as do not accept bribes, are free of deceit, and are descendants of trusted ministers. So the bribes are nothing of these times, they have always been there. Are your commanders brave, expert in warfare, and dexterous in the use of arms? Do they and their soldiers get sufficient wages and on time? Think of these things. How practical, how valid are the questions? Are your ambassadors to other kingdoms your own countrymen, learned, expert in diplomacy, and capable of correctly communicating the king's message? Brother, I am sure that you keep company of the wise and the learned and keep non-believers away. Is Ayodhya well protected? Are the forests where elephants roam and multiply safeguarded? Talk of ecology. Animal care, wild animal care. Do your employees keep a respectable distance from you or shun your contact altogether? You have to adopt a golden mean, Bharata. That alone ensures a successful government. Are your forts well stocked with grain, armaments, water, machines, and artisans? Are there enough well-armed soldiers to protect them? Does your expenditure exceed your revenues? Finance Minister speaking. Do you make sure that your treasury does not enrich the undeserving? I trust that unjust punishments are not thoughtlessly meted to those who are innocent and pure in mind, heart and conduct even by judges learned in scriptures and law. Do your ministers administer fair and impartial justice to the rich and the poor litigants without consideration of the status of the rich man? Tears that flow from the eyes of the innocents have the power to destroy a partial and unjust king, his descendants and his wealth. Bharat, do you honor the aged, the young, and the physicians with innate kindness and sweet words? Are you generous to them? In your regime, continued Ram, I hope wealth does not override and harm dharma, nor is the latter misused to oppress the wealthy. A king must believe in God, Bharat. He should be truthful. He ought not to be lazy, indolent, and given to losing control over his temper. He must exercise control over his five senses. He must not think over policy matters all by himself. A decision once taken must be implemented immediately. No procrastination. The king ought not to consult fools in matters of state. Consultations in matters of policy must be kept confidential. We shall take up Bharat's request and Rama's declining the throne of Ayodhya in the next video. Till then, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram.